This okay. This year we decided to do something called Ghost Hunting 101. Um, since we're both into the paranormal, all sides of it, so we decided to do an interesting topic on ghost hunting. Of course, my name is Brian. This is Laura Lynn.
Hi guys, and then you want to introduce Lewin?
Yeah, my pretty wife Lewin.
Hello, everyone.
Show yourself. So yes, we're gonna go into ghost hunting. Um, I guess let's start. I guess from the beginning of how you know ghost hunting got started. It started during after the Civil War when there was a lot of deaths happened during the Civil War, and a lot of family members were trying to contact their loved ones um, from you know, from the afterlife. Uh, Another start to spiritualism, spiritualist movement was when Abraham Lincoln's wife tried to contact uh, Mary Todd Lincoln tried to contact Abraham Lincoln when he got assassinated, and so that sort of had the movement started where everyone were doing a lot of seance back the time after the Civil War. Uh, Another movement happened on the other side was during World War One. During after World War One, families and loved ones tried to get in touch with their loved ones from the afterlife because of course that was a big war. So that was another time that happened. Um, so Laura Lynn, do you have anything to say?
Um, yeah, just the whole story of Mary Tyler Moore. I mean Mary Todd Lincoln. Uh, After their son's death, like it's so devastating to hear about how much she wanted to believe in the seances and the spiritualist kind of things coming out at the time, and um, yeah, yeah, and also Ouija boards were kind of not the scary thing that they are now. They were kind of like homemade sometimes, and then yeah, so they're just yeah, it just a planchette. That's the little thing that moves around, and maybe even uh writing with a pen in it, you know, that writes something. Yeah, it's really interesting the way Ouija boards developed into what Mattel sells now on the shelves, that
Oh
kind of thing.
yes,
But
yes, because I remember during
I'm not sure if it's Mattel, but
yeah, I was
that's
trying to
the
remember
example.
Parker Brothers. I can't be Mattel. It might be Parker Brothers.
Okay.
But before that came out, when the game companies put that out, there was people that did do their own Ouija board during that spiritual movement side seances, and people made their own planchettes back then. But then when the game companies came out, was in the early 20th century, and they formed their own Ouija boards as for fun things for kids to play with.
Remember to always say goodbye on Ouija boards.
Of course, always
Yeah.
say goodbye. I've heard a lot of horror stories with Ouija boards. I just heard some on some podcast I've listened to, and it's like you gotta know what you're dealing with. So, I mean, I actually had one, but I never used it. I'm glad I never used it.
Mm.
And I don't require getting a Ouija board in the near future. And
He's not allowed to have one in the house
yes, I was told not to do that. So,
ever.
Ain't allowed.
yeah.
No. Cool. Cool.
Okay. So, let's get into the famous ghost hunters that really got into the paranormal investigation field into searching for ghosts. Who's the earliest person, Laura Lynn?
Professor Dr. Hans Holzer, born 1912. He was an Australian-born ghost hunter, Austrian, sorry, and was in he's best known for his hundreds of cases dealing with the paranormal and the occult, deeming him the given phrase the father of the paranormal.
Yes.
So one couple that you may already know about is Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were popular during the 60s and 70s, but that's when The Conjuring happened. But if you want to get into more of that, Brian, you can.
Yes. People might have seen movies like the Amityville Horror, The Conjuring, Annabelle. Those movies were actually true things that happened, true stories, and they were from cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren had actually investigated on. Um, I know when I saw the first Amityville horror movie, they did had Ed Warren, but he was more like a police detective in the movie, the very first Amityville horror movie.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not sure if they were ever in The Conjuring or the.
Yeah, the couple did come to for The Conjuring. Yes.
Or were they? Were they
Uh-huh.
in it?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Annabelle?
Um, in the first couple of movies, they're not there, but they somehow got Annabelle the doll and put them in the museum. And then number three is when the daughter let Annabelle out of her cage. So,
Oh, okay.
da da da. So they might have, been appearances in the other movies, but Annabelle 3 is when they're really shown. But yeah.
But yeah, Ed and Elaine Warren were very well known paranormal investigators. They actually have a museum up in Connecticut that people could see. And they also have Annabelle all locked up there, all sealed up.
Yeah. I should, yeah.
Yeah.
The Ed and Lorraine's personal life is kept secret for uh, a reason. There's some shady stuff in there, but they are still one of the most famous ghost hunters in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, a thing about in paranormal, uh, well, before the reality TV shows popped up in ghost hunting investigation, there was the movie Ghostbusters that was, well, it was kind of into ghost investigation, but more fiction and comedy. So I wouldn't say it was really true, paranormal investigation, more fiction and.
Although those psychics cards that Bill Murray held up and was doing experiments on, those really are being used in the Ryan Center
Yes.
concurrently during that same time period as when the
Mhm.
movie was being filmed for the
Right.
80s. And I
Mhm.
think they still are being used today still, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
just, yeah. Um, so we have trailers of the different shows that we're featuring here. Do you want to talk about Ghost Hunters?
Right. Ghost Hunters was actually the very first paranormal show that got into ghost investigations. That came out in 2004 on the Sci-Fi Channel. It ran on the Sci-Fi Channel for at least maybe 12 years. Now they're actually on the Discovery Channel now, but they're actually the true ghost hunting people are on the really true, ghost research. Um, it was actually true paranormal investigation work um, during probably the early seasons. Um, Later seasons, it was didn't always seem as really, very good paranormal investigation.
Hmm.
Brian, wasn't that the one that was formerly known as TAPS?
Yes, that was
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's actually still called Tabs.
Yeah. They didn't, and they actually came. Well, I think they were supposed to come to Raleigh, but they didn't because they were going to investigate the. Well, have you say it, Mordecai? Sorry, they're
Mordecai, yeah,
yeah,
house
Mordecai House.
of
Yes,
Mordecai. Yeah.
yeah. There
Um,
was one
go
place
ahead.
going to investigate in Raleigh, the Mordecai place, but then they got all sick.
Oh,
Yeah, so you didn't get a chance to do it, but
Yeah,
yeah, we actually watched that one, and that one, if you're ever interested in watching that they're very legit. Like they're very good at respecting the paranormal, respecting the place they're haunting, or not they're haunting, the place they're investigating, the act respects the ghost. Um, so that's a good one, unlike those ones we don't like.
yeah.
The I forget the one, yeah, I forget the name of them. But anyway, go on.
I think they did come to North Carolina to the U.S. battleship North Carolina
Oh
in
yeah, that's right.
Wilmington.
Yes,
Yeah, they didn't
they,
do a show, but yeah, I've
they came to the the battleship USS North Carolina.
okay.
They've done investigations. Of course, after that, a lot of other you know ghost paranormal research teams wanted to investigate the North Carolina. So they do reservations for investigation team to do ghost hunting on the battleship North Carolina nowadays. Now they're actually the first ones that did the investigation on the battleship North Carolina.
Cool.
So after
Let's
that,
play. Go
there's
ahead.
been, after that there's been a whole mess, a lot of paranormal shows on the battleship North Carolina.
Right. Let's play a trailer.
Yes, go ahead and play the trailer.
We can't hear any sound with the trailer, I don't think. I don't know if y'all hear it on y'all's end, but
I
that's
don't either, Laura
okay.
You
Lynn.
don't?
I don't
Okay.
hear anything, Laurelyn.
Let me unshare and then I guess advanced um computer audio. Okay, screens. Uh did you hear the audio now?
No.
No.
Um Okay, well, basically, as you play it, we can kind of like tell you what happened since Brian and I've seen it. Um, so, basically, what they do is they talk to the people first. They find out, hey, what's going on, and then they come in, and what you kind of see is you saw the one guy with the circuit breaker. What they do is they go into total darkness. Like they usually do it at night. They shut off everything. Like they shut everything down and they kind of do their thing. And then at the end, after they gather the evidence, they go back, they listen to it, then they come back and they share with the people at the place they were investigating what they found. And they say, this is what we heard, but we want you to, before we tell you what we heard, we want you to hear it to see if, they heard the same thing. So that's kind of what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're explaining what they're about to do. And so.
I wonder why it's not, let's see. Share
Well,
computer sound. Okay. All right. Can you hear it now?
okay,
Yes,
I
Yeah.
heard it. Can you guys hear it, Donna? All right, hold on. Wait. It stopped, Laurelyn.
I did stop it.
Okay, you can go ahead and play it now. I can see if we hear it. Yes, we can hear it now.
Great.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
The lights were going on and off.
These arms grabbed me and knocked me.
Let's figure out what the heck's going on here.
This is my favorite part of the night.
This entity figured out how to draw power.
We had to flee our house.
Ooh, I'm getting the chills right here. It's coming closer.
I don't chase ghosts. I chase the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa!
Ghost Hunters returns August 21st on A&E.
And then we have Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagan.
yes.
Who likes to.
That's like the next popular, ghost paranormal show.
Yeah, isn't that one there? If I'm not mistaken, though, aren't they a little more? They're a little more aggressive in their. Is that the one I'm thinking, Brian? The one we don't like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like to antagonize the
Yeah,
ghosts.
these guys are very aggressive towards their. They try to anger the spirits, like, hey, come and get us, and where that's not always the best thing to do, because if it's an entity or a spirit that doesn't like that, then they may be more likely to attack you, scratch you, stuff like that. So, but okay, go ahead, you can play. I just wanted to get your notes on that.
I hear it being said, like, imagine you're just chilling in your afterlife and you just want to be a ghost, and
Right.
someone comes in and is like yelling at you, swearing at you. Of course you're gonna be like, okay, dude, stop. Okay, if you
Right.
want it that way.
Yeah,
and then they get angry.
Yeah, and that's how these guys are. And Brian and I just we don't even watch these guys.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't like his style of way he does the investigations. I watched quite a few episodes, and it just kind of turned me off. Seems like Zach Baggins more for the entertainment thing. So yeah,
well, it's the kind of way I look at it is, okay, technically it's not their house, but you're going into their territory. Like, you wouldn't walk into somebody's house and be like, what the hell you doing, man? What's going on? Why you got your, why are you doing this? You're not going to walk into someone's house and just start screaming at them. It's like, be respectful, because you're basically going into their to where they reside. You wouldn't do that to someone else. So
yeah, you just don't need to be mean, if you're doing a investigation.
Right. Okay.
Is there somebody here?
The Travel Channel brings you The Lockdown.
Oh my God.
You've never seen a ghost hunt this extreme.
We're not running from you. Look. I just saw something, dude.
Join the Ghost Adventures crew as they provoke evil spirits in the most haunted places on Earth.
Provoke.
Yeah.
No camera crews, no scripts,
What is it? Get out of this room.
and no way out until dawn.
Come push me. Do something to me. Oh my God, dude.
Can you handle the lockdown?
And I mean, when you do something like that, you ask it to, oh, come push me down. Like, yeah,
Right.
you're just asking for trouble. Like,
Yep.
I mean, so.
And to me, they're kind of risking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it's best not to provoke a ghost.
So then we have the kindred spirits. There's a couple of people who were on Ghost Hunters, the original show, and then made this kindred spirits.
Amy and
Adam.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's like a spin-off from Ghost Hunters, I guess.
And the really cool thing I like about them is when they have their opening, they call it kindred spirits because we are all basically they describe is they're a spirit of like a spirit you can't see, but we're also like spirits, here, and we kind of share the same space. They go about it in a little different way. They have a guy named Chip, and Chip comes in. So they have different people they bring in. They're very, again, they're like the compassionate. They have, what can we do to help you either to cross over or live in the space. So that's one thing about them. They go about it very kindly. So
as soon as we set foot in this place, things started happening. Do you think what we're doing here is evil?
Whoa. I'm sorry, that's rage. Rage. There is violence attached to this.
I'm getting frustrated because I feel like this is how haunts get out of control.
She says, you hurt me. Can you make it go off?
All new season Kindred Spirits, Friday, January 20th at 9 on Travel Channel.
So in that episode, you saw the guy with the glasses. That's Chip. He's a medium.
Set up here.
Sorry. Go ahead. He's a medium. Yeah, Chip.
He's a medium, and Chip. They call him in a lot. And they use a lot of more probably. I would say out of I'm looking at all of these. Okay, probably out of all of these. They use the most technology. They use the lights. They use the spirit box. You might have saw like briefly the guy had a blindfold on. I forget, what do you call that, Laura Lynn?
Estes experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
So,
yeah.
So they have what they call a spirit box, and he'll put on the blindfold, and it's like it goes through radio frequency. So if you kind of, for those of you who are old enough, you remember like when before TV was on all the time, it would go to that like white noise, that you hear that. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
And supposedly the spirit, like what they'll do is sometimes Amy or sometimes Adam will put on the blindfold and they'll listen, and Amy will ask questions like, I don't know, some random question like, are you is this where you used to live? And Adam will say things because he has the headphones on, so he can't hear anything, he can't see anything, and the spirit will give them, like, he'll say random words of different things. So that's a cool thing about them. They use a lot more of that, more technology than a lot of these. Like, for instance, the ghost hunters, they use that technology a lot. like all kinds of lights, the spirit boxes.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's listening to the spirit box and then just saying what he hears.
Right.
And if it's a smart response, it's a big deal.
And yeah, sometimes it's like phrases. It's like, you know, sometimes it's like it's one word, it's a couple of words. It's not usually a full sentence most of the time though, but it's just like it's like it could be 2 or 3 words. Like, what is your name? My name is John. It'll say something like that or
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I do like Kindred Spirits. I watched it. Yeah. But this next one looks really funny and fun to watch.
These guys are hilarious.
Fun and entertaining. They're an all-black team. They're called the Ghost Brothers, and they're just really fun. Just really, really fun to enjoy to watch them.
Yeah, go ahead and show, and then we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
Donna says in the comments, I met the Ghost Brothers last week. They are hilarious.
Oh wow, that's so awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, let's watch the trailer, shall we?
Okay.
Yes.
Set up here. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Oh, I know I am, boy.
Here's popcorn.
This is the nightclub of hell. Overhand clap. Yeah.
Bathsheba. Why would you come inside screaming the name of like the most evil spirit? Do you know Bathsheba?
Bro, it feel like I got scratched on the back of my neck.
Oh.
The question is whether or not Marcus is possessed.
That's not the question. What time is it? Time to pop the trunk on these goes. Boom, boom. Let's go. Pow, pow. That's how it works. There's 7 spirits in here. You heard that?
Oh my gosh.
Am I in danger?
That was hands down the creepiest I've ever experienced in my life, bro. That portal is real. What else do you have to say to us?
I know you heard that. Oh my God.
Whatever it is, we got our hands full.
Yeah, this ain't last season, bro. This ain't last season.
So yeah, that's a really great show to watch.
Sorry.
You ready to rock and roll?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all set up here. Are you ready
Sorry.
to rock and roll?
Yeah, they're really and again they're they go in, they're very respectful. The opening clip is really kind of funny because I forget which the one I think it's Marcus. He has like it always opens up. He's in the barbershop cutting somebody's hair.
Right.
One of the other guys comes, is like, oh, we got this case, and and sometimes he has a kid in the chair, so he's like, okay, we have to be a little delicate how we say this, but they always go in there respectful. They're funny, but again, it's they're not being aggressive but
antagonizing.
Right, but they're very if you want one that's a little more Kindred Spirits, I would say is more like out of all of them, I say Ghost Brothers is kind of the more sort of like where they put a little more, it makes it fun, where the other ones can be like are more not darker but more like serious. Well, except for like so Ghost Hunters and Kindred Spirits, I would say are, and of course the Ghost Adventures, they're very dark, but
Right.
Ghost Hunters and Kindred Spirits, which we watch, are like more kind of the more serious side, where these guys put a little twist of humor on it.
And most of all these shows are on Discovery or Travel Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. So let's talk about some haunted places that are around here. First one I'm going to talk about is the Devil Stomping Grounds. I actually been there. But the thing is that when I went there with a friend of mine, we went in the middle of the day and nothing really quite happened. They say that a lot of animals are like freaked out because all it is barren ground and you can't plant anything in this circle. Nothing grows in it. Um, so it's been about maybe 5 years ago. One with a friend of mine, we went there, and there was two couple that had their dogs. I thought the dogs would get freaked out, but nothing really happened. So I'm assuming that a lot of the activity is during towards the evening, which I guess it's always at night. There's been cases where some people have actually camped out there. One story was a bunch of college students from UNC Chapel Hill actually camped there, and their tent got moved. They got actually moved out of the circle. Some force took them out of the circle. So
Yeah, and supposedly what they say is like, um, we've known this guy named Tally. And some of you guys listening know who I'm talking about. Um, was at RecCon last year, is at RecCon again this year. And what they say is, and I'm gonna get back to Tally in a minute, but what they say is he supposedly the devil walks around in a circle in this area plotting against whatever he is planning for humanity, his next evil task. Um, so this is coming up. I think he said for his Tally said for his 50th birthday, he was going to go out there and sleep in the circle. But then he said, of course, COVID hit. So he says for his 60th birthday, he's actually going to sleep in the circle. He's going to get nail his sleeping bag down to the ground and actually sleep out there. And I'm thinking, dude, you are crazy. You're crazy. But he's a really nice guy. But that's what they say, that anything that goes in the circle gets moved out of the circle by whatever force. I don't think anybody's gotten like killed or injured. Well, I mean, not like to the point they die or anything, but
yeah, not to my knowledge. And there's also a connection to the lost colony. Um, that assumingly there was this one great Indian chief called possibly named Croatan, which was on a tree when the English colonists came back there, where all the colony settlement was all abandoned. It's all this, word carved into a tree, and apparently that might be a burial ground for one of the Indian chiefs, but that's hard to say.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Interesting.
So the next
yeah, go ahead.
next place is the Mordecai House. It's in Raleigh, right near downtown Raleigh.
Yeah, it's downtown. There's a collection of other houses that moved onto the property. What's his name? Andrew Johnson, one of the presidents, his birth house is there. And
right.
But Mordecai was there were two Jewish brothers. One converted to Christianity, so instead of Mordecai, he pronounced his name Mordecai. There's a local group that has exclusive rights, I guess, to hunt there. Let's see.
This Halloween, we are taking a closer look at some buildings in Raleigh with a haunted history.
One became known as one of Raleigh's most haunted places. It's now home to a popular restaurant, Ashley Christensen's Death and Taxes.
Wait, that's the wrong one, I think.
Oh, it is the wrong one.
In downtown Raleigh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, so the same group. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot. Speaking of near downtown, there's an Old Pine State Creamery.
Right. And one of the stories is that there's been a murder that taken place there. I don't know. It was one. I think it was a homeless guy that actually he actually targeted women, or like a serial killer, and he murdered two women, think one might have been a college student. The other one was a prostitute, and he actually took those their bodies and put them in the old Pine State Creamery at the time. Um, eventually they found them. This happened back during the '90s when that happened, and so the old Pine State Creamery, which is called the Creamery in Raleigh, has had some spooky stuff there. There used to be a Mexican restaurant called Zoco, and some people have actually seen ghostly images of a woman in the restrooms.
Isn't that the one that we went that one time?
Yes.
Yeah, and that supposedly because I think we were there, someone told us this that you would be in the bathroom stall and all of a sudden someone would knock on the stall door, but there was nobody there.
Like you did to me.
Yeah. And then, but it just had, to me, it had a weird, I don't remember what time of year we went, but it was just
a heavy feeling.
Yeah. And was it during the summertime we went?
It was warm. I don't.
Okay, because I remember it being, the place was really cold.
It might have been during the winter month or maybe late fall.
Okay, because it just felt really abnormal, not you walk into a restaurant, it was just cold, not it had, Lorelai said, had a very heavy vibe. It just felt weird, but it was cold. It just felt colder than a normal restaurant would be. And then I think we went back to that. There was we went outside and there was this back part of the room.
Yeah, it was a private area.
And that part, ooh, that felt, that was creepy. It just had a very you just walk in there okay, something's not right here.
Yeah, that's where the back part had a lot of activity. People have actually heard people's voices, screams when it was a restaurant at the time. I don't know if it's still a restaurant. I know it's no longer a Mexican restaurant anymore. So, but there's been things about that place. So, Laura Lynn, you can play the video.
The taco place video. Sorry.
Decorating the popular Showco. Behind the Masks and Skeletons, decorating the popular Showco Mexican restaurant on Raleigh's Glenwood South.
We hear our names called when there's no one around.
There's a haunting energy.
Just hear all kinds of things.
Those strange things.
Bangings on the wall. There's someone that runs through and laughs.
It happens so often, a warning is posted on the front door.
We're not responsible for what they do. You're on your own.
5-year employee Deb Kaiser says it's not just the staff that senses it.
We've had it happen to customers.
It turns out Deb is also a lead investigator for ASAP Paranormal.
The first week I was here, strange things happened. So I asked the management, had they ever had it checked out?
So they did a reading.
We got a lot of interesting EVPs, a lot of energy spikes.
Their reading confirmed the staff's belief that the building is haunted.
When I was sitting in with them, we heard really sinister sounding giggles.
And after hearing of the ghost stories, another Raleigh-based research team, the Association of Paranormal Study, also did an investigation.
We did an experiment called the Gonsfeld. It is a parapsychological experiment where it's sensory deprivation, and we were getting a lot of weird things like shadows in the bathroom, but also the motion sensor kept turning on even though none of us were moving.
It turns out Showco is in the historic Creamery building, a building that's seen its share of history.
There's also been some tragedies that have happened here. There's a story of a man who had a heart attack and was found in the freezer, but then in the 90s there was kind of a well-known string of murders that happened in this area, and one woman was found in what is now this restaurant.
A place that embraces its paranormal activity.
It's not evil, it's not malevolent. If you were eating here and you start to notice silverware moving, plates moving, or whispers in your ear, I think something might be trying to communicate with you.
So the staff of Shoko says that these strange happenings occur year-round, not just at Halloween, and they embrace them. They even have some dishes named after some of those ghosts.
Okay, I think our next social dining after next in April should be there.
Oh, really? Spooky fun time.
and one person you just saw in there, her name is Alex, and she's a local. I don't know if she still lives in the area or not.
No,
but
she doesn't live in Raleigh anymore. She's up in Northern Virginia near Washington, D.C. But yeah, she actually did investigations of that place, Zocalo, at the time when she was living in Raleigh.
Yeah, and if you're interested in any of like her more of what she's about, she's done a lot of books. She's very well known in locally around here in the paranormal field. So very good at what she does.
Okay, our next place would be the White House up in Washington. There has been a few presidents that have seen the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. I think Jimmy Carter saw the ghost of Lincoln. Andrew Johnson was one of them. Richard Nixon. I heard those are the ones that I know, named few. I don't know about, previous ones who've seen ghosts, but the only ones that I know that they've seen uh, the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. It's well known. It's
This Halloween, we are
Sorry.
taking a
Oh, that's all right. There's been that I mean that's another haunted place is the White House.
I hear also George Washington appears to some people as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Another place is battlefields. Every place that has had to deal with war is one place up in Pennsylvania is Gettysburg. That's a really big paranormal hotspot playground for ghosts. People have seen apparitions of Civil War soldiers walking on the streets, thought they were reenactors. But that's definitely a hotbed of paranormal activity is Gettysburg.
Yeah. And then we talked about the USS North Carolina in Wilmington. Ghost known to whistle at women on the boat.
Yes.
And then the Conjuring House, Ed and Lorraine Warren made that famous, as well as the Amityville Horror House. Yeah. The Conjuring House is not one of those tall columned with the houses, white houses with columns. It's more like a farmhouse and it's flat. And anyway, Brian, you want to talk about the Brown Mountain Lights?
Yes, another place that happened to have a lot of battles is the Brown Mountain Lights, which there's a whole mess of theories about the Brown Mountain Lights. Some say it's UFO alien base there, but another theory is that there was a big Native American battle between the Cherokee and the Wataugans. Anyways, there was a big bloodshed battle there, and apparently some of the women look for their loved ones that fought in the battle there. Apparently you'll see lights and the view, you see lights in the mountains, and apparently it might have been warriors or women looking for the ones that were in battle. I think one place you could see the Brown Mountain Lights was it Wiseman's Bluff?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the best places.
Best lookout to see those
Yes.
orbs just floating out of the ground. And they're not swamp gas like everyone says.
Yeah, because the swamp gas. And one thing about it, even if you go there, it's not guaranteed that you'll see them. They don't always like. Some people have gone there and have not seen it. You might have been watching this, Brian. I don't know if it was Steve but someone was mentioning earlier. Well, not earlier, but I was watching this thing on YouTube, and they were saying that if you watch, there's a red light, and the red light's like a tower. It's like a tower, but they said keep an eye on that. That won't change. But then all of a sudden, all these other lights, they appear and they just kind of dance around. They don't really stay in one place. And some people will say they see different colors. There's not always like white. Like there's all these different colors. And I think they said like spring and the fall are the best time to go.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go.
I'm
That's
ready.
another place I would like to go see. They said the best time is like late September, October, right around that time. You can see those spook lights. Yeah, that's another. That's one place I would like to check out. It's the Brown Mountain Lights.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool. We're
Mhm.
running. Let's move on because
Yes.
we have 8 minutes left.
Oh yeah, we need to finish up if we need any questions.
So tools of the trade, spirit boxes. Those are the Brian, do you want to show yours first or should I show mine?
Well, I can get mine. I gotta go find it first, but I have it.
Well, yeah. Sorry for the background. It's
Oops.
It's anyway, so here I have a ghost box. Let me unshare my screen. And sorry. This is what it looks like. So this is what they do. They put on their headphones and whatnot. If you can hear the static, it's kind of low coming out of the box itself. There's the static. And then they go through a sleep wave.
We can't hear the static, Laura Lynn.
Yeah, it's low. So I'm gonna plug it in to an amplifier. Hold on. All right, here we go. Let's turn this off. Hold on. Hold on. Where'd it go? I so totally had this, and now it's. Oh, someone said something. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. It was all copacetic. Loud, right? Very loud. And then I have some things here that I can turn down the static. And then yeah, so it's if you can make out words, you can make out words, and sometimes you can't.
So as you listen, so what you do is you ask questions and then you'll hear responses.
Yes.
We've done this. There's probably so many people on this listening. We've gone camping and we've actually heard people different words come through.
Yes.
It's a little creepy.
It is.
But it's cool.
Yeah. Brian, you want to show us yours?
Yes, this is the Xbox.
S-Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You turn it on and you'll hear this.
Oh.
and then you just press the button. I think push this button. Wait, go forward.
What did it say there?
I don't understand it.
One. Okay. Yeah, they're hard to understand.
Wait.
Wait.
Pause.
Pause. Maybe it was pause.
Wait.
So the idea of these is it goes through like radio frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There I do have some software apps that that we can I can share. So this is hold on, let me turn on the audio. Shoot. Okay. Oh. So this is called the Echo Box. You can pick and choose whether you want how fast you want them to go, what have you. You shouldn't be hearing anything yet. So let me start it now. Do you hear anything?
Yes.
Yeah. Toast. Toast. Oh, it's still going. Let's stop that, and then I'll show you. Dead Wave seems to have more interaction and stuff. So I'm going to turn it on. That's good and loud. Sorry. I heard. Did you say? Did you hear what's going on? I kind of heard that, but drugs or bugs.
Spark.
And you can play with stuff. Anyway, I have all these apps on my phone, and I play with them sometimes. People on TikTok and whatnot have been playing with necrophonics, but the thing about
this one's creepy.
Yeah. The thing about apps is whatever, like they say that maybe sorry, the cat distracted me. Maybe the microphone on your phone is don't step on the keyboard, please. Is picking up sounds and then recording it, and then it's playing it back to you. But let's go ahead and start this one. Hey. What you say? It's a gimmick. Anyhow, so that's that. I'm gonna stop screen share or go back to this one. Yeah. So that's some of the apps. What I have here is a motion detector. So if I put my hand around it, it's supposed to be, but its speaker went out. If I put my hand around it, it'll start flashing. Do you have your K2 meter, Brian?
I do. I have it right here.
Yeah. So this is what a K2 meter looks like. You just turn it on, and so here I'm putting it. Yeah. So it goes from green to red, and anyway, so I'm gonna put my phone next to it, and it's supposed to activate it. Yeah, but I guess not right now. Anywho, like you can have smart responses with these and say, is anyone here? And if it lights up, you can ask yes and no questions, and it'll go up and down.
So I'll give you an example of I actually used one of those and we were at this place called the Dollhouse, and supposedly I don't know if I think it might be a little girl, but I was in the room by myself and I had this in my hand. I was talking to this spirit, and that thing went from green to red, and I was like, holy crap, what just happened? And I turned around and Brian was right behind me. Yeah, it's the one that she has in her hand, the black one like that. And it was I didn't feel like scared, like in the sense of like that I was being harmed, but it was a moment of like, oh shit, there's somebody here with me.
There's someone here.
So that those things apparently pick up the magnetic or the of the spirit. So yeah, it's if that ever happens to you, when it first happens to you, that's like, oh, you're like, it's a little unnerving.
Yes,
my cat spiked it.
Oh.
Yep.
So then we have pen and paper. Do you want to tell a little bit about pen and paper?
Yes. Yeah, the pen and paper, you can write down your experiences to say what, if you get someone touches you, if you saw something, is another tool to use pen and paper. It's another idea. Okay, got that, Donna. All right. So yeah, we're gonna go pretty quickly on this.
Yeah. So twist to turn on flashlights, like they're like the flashlights, like the mag lights. And when you twist to turn it on, it turns on. So what you do is you slowly turn it off, and then right at the moment where it's supposed to turn on and off, then you put it down somewhere and ask the ghost to turn on the flashlight, and they usually do.
Yep.
So,
oh yes, dowsing rods.
Oh, okay. It broke. Okay.
Yeah, you can get these out of hangers.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can do them yourself, or you can go to, I don't know, Amazon, eBay.
Yeah, so they're little copper wire things, and you hold them flat. Don't touch them. Okay, you ask them, will you show me a yes? Okay, thank you. Will you show me a no? And they're supposed to separate, which they did. That's more of a maybe. Will you show me a maybe? Okay. Okay, no is fully out, and maybe is straight ahead. And then thank you for a yes on that. So you can ask them questions like that. Ask them yes and no questions. And then going with the pendulum. You see this on screen, and what you can do is say, will you show me a yes, please? And that usually is up and down for me, and a no is side to side. And then a maybe is kind of just dangle there and do a circle. Is Brian my friend? And then I got a yes on that. But yeah, so there are pendulums. You see people use them as well, psychics.
And another tool is the parabolic dish.
And voice recorders, yeah.
Yes, and voice recorders.
I got a light up ball. Do you want to play with this? Kitty cat, kitty cat. Kitty cat.
Yep. So
Yeah, I have a little tiny tape recorder. It's not great. It's not great sound wise, but is anyone here? Hello?
this is very good for investigating too. Also good for hearing birds and nature, but also good for ghost hunting too. Of course, sounds. Yep. So you just put on these
Hello?
ears, and then you go right here.
What'd you hear, Brian?
I hope nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, and then we have, so EVP is electronic voice phenomenon, and then you have your cameras. Some people use flash photography to catch spirits, which does happen sometimes, but mostly you get orbs, which really are dust. And then there's infrared, little infrared lights on the camera. So this is an infrared flashlight. You can't see it do anything to my face, but you can see it's still a light. Yeah, I can't see it, but yeah. Anyway, so they put those on cameras to light up the space, or you have night vision, which uses all the available light, and the camera uses its computer chip to bring up the light levels so that you can see them. And then there's SLS camera, which is those dancing stick guys you see on TV. And those are hit and miss because, you know, Xbox technology is to sense human-like shapes, and but it's always looking for humans. Do you know what I mean? So a chair could be a human and whatever, and it could be false positives. Then you have temperature gauges.
Yep.
My monitor is 90 degrees. My desktop is 81. It is a little warm, but I don't think it's 81. Oh, because the cat's been sitting there. It's 75 degrees inside. And then a laser light grid. Let me show you.
Oh, yeah, it's laser grids.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah, we can see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see movement when someone walks across. Anywho. Those are my doodads. I think that's mostly everything.
Yeah. So is there any questions, or is that, I think we ran out of time, so it's
I think
Thank you so much for doing this. I think some people have handed people have handed to the movie, but
okay.
I just wanted to say thank you so much. This was very, very, very well done and very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Donna.
Just remember to say goodbye when you're on a Ouija board or doing a seance.
Yes.
To the spirits.
All right.
All righty. Well,
Thanks,
good night,
guys.
everybody.